All right, YouTube, back at it, day 3. So today, well, last night I sent a couple email out to some different manufacturer boards. I'm going to try to make this kind of a segment on my experience in not only with the Wowgo, but also comparing it to any other boards if any other company will reach back out to me. So I'm back out in Colorado Springs, and you guys can see a beautiful sunny day, but it's an extremely windy day. Kind of cheated today. Instead of leaving from my house, I left from I drove my truck to a school. As you can see, cheating a little bit with my truck. Drove my truck to a school, and I'm gonna leave out from here. I do have one update for the Wowgo board. Bear with me, I'm recording all of this off of my phone. If there's interest in this on YouTube and with other board manufacturer, I might upgrade to a couple different things, but for right now I'm recording off of my phone. So I noticed today when I put this board down, I don't even know if you'll be able to hear it with the wind, but if I spin this wheel, there's no sound. But with this wheel, there's already a clicking sound. So I don't know if that's a big deal or not. I'll keep you guys posted. But today for the video, I'm just going to ride around, try to stay on sidewalks, try to keep the speed a little bit down to see if I can get more longevity out of the battery. But here we go, and I'll keep you guys posted how it goes. So just started 0.8 miles into my ride. Just kind of practicing my carving and seeing if, you know, how controllable the board is, I guess. Like I said, I've never longboarded before, so I'm brand new at this. But man, is this similar to snowboarding. It's almost spot on to snowboarding. I even find myself leaning, you know, kind of lifting that toe and heel edge, just like snowboarding. I don't think that's required, but it's definitely helping with the weight transfer and helping out. Just cruise it down the road, 15 miles an hour right here. Yeah, fun so far. So check this out. Found this cool sidewalk that goes around that pond. I've seen that pond before, but didn't know there was a big sidewalk around it. So I thought, what better time than to explore around the pond? So that's what I'm doing now. Here's that 10 miles an hour on the sidewalk. Still around the pond, going with the wind now, so it's not as ridiculous. It's beautiful Colorado Springs. Found this cool little tunnel. Echoes really bad. Found that cool little tunnel. It's out of the wind. It's very windy today, so I thought I would stop here just for a quick second. Gives me a good opportunity to kind of talk about the board a little bit more. So I was watching a video this morning, and it spoke about, you know, that this is the Wowgo because of the flexi deck and the belt driven, and I guess the color scheme, the way it looks, everything about it. It's a direct competitor to Boosted board. Now I know that there's a huge price disparity between the two. Boosteds are double the price. So I'm not saying that it's better than a Boosted board. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that according to the videos that I watched, and one of the reasons why I bought this board was that this board in itself is like riding a Boosted, only for those that don't want to or can't spend $1,500 on a board. So that got me thinking, because in recent news, Boosted board are going out of business. So that kind of opened up a huge niche for all the other board manufacturers, and who's going to step up and become the next Boosted. I mean, I know Evolve is a very expensive board, and from all the videos they look great, but that's $2,000. Who, you know, I don't have $2,000 to spend on a board. Now granted, I'm riding through the beautiful community, but as I showed you at the beginning, I drove to this community. I don't live in this community. My sidewalks are typical rough sidewalks where it's unpleasant to ride on. You have to ride on the road, and even that is kind of rough. So, I mean, in the new sidewalks with the flexi deck, with the bigger wheels, because of, you know, with the belt driven and it having actual longboard wheels, this thing just phenomenal. The more I ride it, the more I love it, and the more I ride it, the more I can compare it to snowboarding. I did have 2 close calls. One time I hit the gas a little bit too fast, and I was just kind of standing there riding at a couple miles an hour, just going up a sidewalk, and hit the gas and it kind of scooted out from underneath me. And then another time I was carving and leaned back a little bit too far. It's like snowboarding, but you don't have the hill there to help you with your leans. In addition to that, you know, on a snowboard, when you're carving, you're actually scrubbing speed. On this, it doesn't really scrub speed at all, but that's why you have a brake on this. So enjoying it. I'll keep you posted throughout the ride. Riding along, I was riding up along that sidewalk, saw this cool tunnel that goes underneath a sidewalk to take me there. Wonder where this goes. We're about to find out. I'm at 4 miles into my ride today. You can hear that motor clicking a little bit. There's big cracks. Steep hill. Look at that. I think I found another school.
Four miles completed. Duration 30 minutes 29 seconds. Burn calories 51 calories.
App just popped up, said 4 miles completed. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit, but I want to talk about the road condition and how well this thing handles them. The cracks, the bumps, all that. But more than that, you know, I'm used to riding regular skateboards where the smallest of a pebble can end your life. If you're a mechanic, you know the same thing with the dang sorry, I'm checking for traffic. For mechanics, it's the jack. A jack cannot go over the smallest of a pebble or a zip tie. Regular skateboards, man, I remember as a kid riding regular skateboards, and you'd be moving out. You'd be going downhill doing 10, 15 miles an hour, and all of a sudden you hit a little pebble and you're coming off of that board. You hear that audible screech and you're coming off of that board. But this is different. Every once in a while I hear it kicking rocks out. Like it'll kick rocks out and kind of hit. Good morning. It'll kick rocks out and kind of hit things along the side, so you got to be careful on how close you ride to cars and stuff like that. But I mean, look at this thing. Just takes it like a champ. All the cracks. Now, knock on wood, I'm probably going to jinx myself, but I have not hit something that's made me crash. Now, granted, if I see a big enough crack, I'll stop. I'll lift up the board. But there hasn't been anything like this that the board just doesn't go right over. It's pretty amazing. I didn't expect that coming into electric skateboards. Practicing my carving. Another thing that I didn't expect that much, and how much exploring I'm doing right now. So I've never been on any of the roads. I've never been on any of the back roads to the housing developments and stuff like that. Never knew even some of this stuff was here. But because I just want to get out and ride, and these sidewalks are so nice, and I'm not in a hurry, not commuting, I'm not in a hurry, I just want to get out and ride today. The wind has died down a lot back here. I think I'm about to reach the end of the sidewalk. Yep. the end of this sidewalk. For anybody that's from Colorado Springs, that's obviously Black Forest. Just beautiful. Beautiful. I'm so glad to be out here and doing something that's fun while I'm exploring. At this beautiful park, decided to stop and kind of give you a mid-ride update. So according to my remote, I've gone 5.1 miles and I've only used 1 bar of battery. For reference, there's 4 bars total. So according to the remote, I've only used 1/4 of the battery, but I've noticed that going up hills, that drops down to half. So I'm gonna keep going this way. I mean, I'm lost. I have no idea where I am, but I got the mountains that way. So I know I have to go south and then I have to go east. So draw a straight line that way. That's the direction I have to go to get back to my truck. Hopefully I don't run out of battery before I make it back. Just want to give some quick video of just riding around, not necessarily talking about the board. A deposit there coming up on a park. I don't want to record kids. There's that wind. Somebody's moving. That thing's off the ground. Now I know how they get those on the truck. Had no idea. Use a lift system. Back to flatbed underneath it. Alright, got some more people coming. So I'm conserving a lot of battery right now. There's some ups and down hills, but this board coasts a lot better than I thought an electric skateboard would. A little bit of uphill grade. Okay. Uh-oh. So no motorized vehicles. So here's the remote. Not using any throttle right here. I'm actually probably gonna have to use brakes. But here we go. This board coasts amazing. That helps, because I'm down to half battery and I still have no clue where I'm at. Okay, good news and bad news. Good news is I know where I am. Bad news is I am downhill from my truck, so trying to get back up to my truck's gonna kill this battery. Got about half left. Like I said, this time now I'm going with the wind, or the wind's died. Can't tell. But like I said, with this ride I'm going a little bit slower, just trying to get a little bit more distance out of it. It seemed like going from my house yesterday, 9.5 miles was kind of it was at least low enough where it had me worried that I wasn't going to make it back without carrying the board. So trying to drop the speed a little bit. It'll also get me longer run time. Yesterday I was on the board for about 40 minutes, I think, for a full battery charge. We'll see what my app says when I'm done with this. I was kind of thinking about the board and comparing it to snowboarding again. And if you compare it to snowboarding, it's actually a really good deal. So most snowboards, they cost right around what this costs, just the board itself. Plus bindings, plus boots, plus all your cold weather gear and waterproof gear. I mean, you're easily, if you want to buy your own gear, you're well over $1,000 on pause, coming up on somebody. All right, got around them. Back to comparison. And then you got to factor in lift tickets, anywhere between $60 and $150 depending on where you're going. The time, the gas spent getting to the mountain, parking if you got to pay for parking. Snowboarding is really expensive. That's what keeps me from doing it all the time. This, I can just walk out my house and get on it and go for $700. I have to keep pausing because I keep running into people. I don't want to put them, record them without them knowing it. There's no reason to. So, but back to comparison, I love being up in the mountains because you're up seeing new things. You're doing something semi-athletic, I guess. I mean, yeah, your legs hurt at the end of the day, but you can do it for hours on end. So, semi-athletic. And this just has that feel to it. It has that feel that you can do this for a prolonged time, get a little bit of a workout, see some scenery, get outside, get some sun, and just have a blast doing it. Have a blast doing it. Getting close to my truck, 6.8 miles. I think what I'll end up doing is going down to my truck and then turning around and coming back down the other side, exploring the other neighborhood, just sticking semi-close. Man, the downhill section really helped. 16 miles an hour downhill. 18 with no throttle. Okay, made it back to my truck. Currently 9.8 miles. Got 2 battery bars left. Think I'm gonna turn the board off, go back to my neighborhood, and then ride there and see how far I can get until at least the controller starts vibrating. Oh, wait a minute. Where does this sidewalk go? I think it just goes to the back side of the school. That's where it goes. Okay, make my way back to my truck and then go to my neighborhood. Okay, in the last section I said that I was gonna load it up and go back to my neighborhood and finish out the battery. Yeah, I didn't do that. So when coming back around the school, the remote started buzzing at me saying that the battery was low. So I decided, well, let's just see how low it is. Went into that new construction site over there, went back and forth a couple times in there, and then made it back to this parking lot. Decent size parking lot for a small school. Just started doing laps around the parking lot. It stayed at 1 battery for a long time. It's still not completely dead, but I don't want to drain it to where it can't move. Even at 1 battery bar, according to the remote, which I believe now, I was hitting 19 miles an hour on the straights through this parking lot. Pretty flat, pretty straight with the wind. I'm sitting down behind my truck trying to hunker from the wind so the mic's not picking it up as much. According to the remote, I went 12.6 miles, 34 mile total on the board so far. That clicking noise is still there. I don't know if I can get it to do it. It's got some dirt in there. Oh yeah. It's almost like the belt's binding up or something. So I'm going to kind of take that apart. Now it's not just a clicking noise, now it's a squeaky noise too. So I'm going to take that apart, see if I can, maybe that's just the belts wearing in. But anyway, according to the app, I think the app's like 0.1 of a mile short of what the remote says, but at this point, I believe the remote, because I'm doing laps around a parking lot, it's hard for a GPS app to be accurate with just doing a small circle around a parking lot. So, second long distance ride, my legs do kind of hurt, but all in all, it was a blast. There's the board, another great ride. I will try to screenshot the total ride and upload it there at the end. But once again, just like yesterday, extremely excited, really happy that I bought this, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of good fun.